wrestling fans. My name is Brian Crazy. You are watching the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. Thanks for tuning in once again. I am back with my TNA Impact Wrestling review for July 19, 2012. It is open fight night where everybody got to fight. If you are called out, you got to come out for your match. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no way out of it. So we start off the show with a recap of the attack last week by those masked men who have been dubbed the Aces and Eights on Hulk Hogan and Sting. Hulk Hogan and Sting have been written off TNA television for a short period of time, and the reason Hulk Hogan was written off television means he had to have a legitimate back surgery. Now, I really like how they wrote Hogan's legitimate back surgery into the storylines, making it look like that those group of masked men were responsible for injuring Hulk Hogan, thus necessitating the surgery. I really like how they did that. We start off the show with the Cowboy James Storm. He comes down, he cuts a promo, he talks about the Aces of Eight, he talks about Hulk Hogan, and then he calls out Kurt Angle. He doesn't call Kurt Angle in a negative way. He praises him for probably being one of the best wrestlers of all time. He calls out Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's music plays once, it plays twice, and Kurt Angle's nowhere to be seen. The cameraman catches up with Angle, and Angle is being attacked by those masked men, the Aces and Eights. Now, this made sense to this point. I can see they attacked Hogan. They attacked Sting. Those men both used to either currently have or used to have a position of power within TNA wrestling. They're also established talent. Kurt Angle is an established talent. I can understand attacking him, but their attacks continued throughout the night, and it looks like they became more random. They attacked whoever they felt like. Unless they had some sort of vendetta against these men, it looks like they're just trying to make an impact. We go into the first Bound for Glory Series match of the night. Kurt Angle versus James Storm was supposed to be a match, but that never took place because of the attack on Kurt Angle. We go into Samoa Joe versus the Pope. So Joe comes out, he says, hey, I never liked the Pope. He calls him out and quickly defeats him. He puts him away via submission. And then we go into the next match. Robbie E went against Jeff Hardy. Robbie E ended up picking up the win over Jeff Hardy by countout when his tag team partner, Robbie T, Big Rob Terry, distracted Jeff Hardy on the outside. Jeff Hardy ended up brawling with him, and thus Robbie E was still in the ring, getting the win by countout. Then we go into the gut check the gut check segment. This is where the gut check competitor gets his chance. He gets to wrestle a match. He tries to impress the audience. He tries to impress the three judges, the panel of judges that choose if he's going to get into the business or not. We'll get into TNA's Impact Wrestling or not, I should say. And Sam Shaw comes out. He cuts a quick promo, and then he's quickly attacked by the Aces and Eights. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier on in this review. It looked like these guys were attacking established talent. Now they're attacking whoever. It looks like they're just trying to make a mark. They're trying to let everybody know everybody is on notice in this organization. It doesn't matter if you're established talent. It doesn't matter if you're a guy that's just walking in the door for the first time. You are on notice. Then we go into Mr. Anderson versus AJ Styles. Mr. Anderson cuts a quick promo before this match. Says last month on Open Fight Night, he called out a guy that he absolutely detests. He calls out Christopher Daniels. This month, he calls out AJ Styles. Regardless of the situation going on with Styles, he is in Styles' corner. He backs AJ Styles, and he wants to have a match with him. Mr. Anderson ends up picking up the win over Styles, and you can imagine, in the storyline, AJ Styles is so distracted with everything that's going on, and then we see Claire come out. Claire comes out, and she reveals some pretty interesting photos of her and AJ Styles in bed together. Of course, this is all storyline, but it's starting to heat up. I really was wondering where this was going to go. It looks like Claire's first appearance really didn't come off the way they wanted it to, and I even read some reports here on the internet that it didn't come off the way the TNA wanted it to. But it's turning into an interesting story. We found out that AJ is responsible for the baby. Now there's pictures of them, in bed together, and it's funny enough, there's so many pictures that you can see it dark and then it's light. I find this pretty interesting. I'm enjoying the storyline, and I want to see where it goes. Then we go into Daniels versus RVD. Daniels picks up the win over RVD. He uses the ropes for leverage. This is after RVD goes for the Rolling Thunder. He ends up getting caught up in the ropes after Daniels moves. Daniels gets a quick pin and uses the ropes for leverage. Then we go into Bully Ray versus Magnus. Bully Ray hits the Bubba Cutter and picks up the win over Magnus. This finally puts Bubba Ray on the Bound for Glory Series leaderboard. These are his first points, and he is the last man to score his first points out of those 12 superstars. Then we go into the main event, Robert Roode versus Austin Aries. This is a non-title match, but Robert Roode said he's going to call Austin Aries out. He wants a little bit of revenge for what happened at Destination X when he lost his championship, and these guys are going back and forth. This is a great match. It's almost as good as the match we saw at the pay-per-view. Then the Aces and Eight attack Austin Aries first. It looks like they're going to leave Robert Roode alone. Robert Roode's kind of standing in the corner. He's got a smirk on his face, like, oh, this is great. Then those guys turn their attention on Robert Roode. He gets absolutely dominated, decimated by the Aces and Eights. and both men are laid lying in the ring with these masked men just continuing to beat on them. I really like the storyline. I want to know where it's going. Is this a group of disgruntled talent maybe that couldn't get their foot in the door, or young guys that feel like these legends and these established talents are holding them down? This is very, very interesting. I can't wait to see where this goes. I enjoyed Impact Wrestling tonight, and I can't wait to see what happens next week. Now I want to know your guys' thoughts. You got to hear some of mine. I want to hear yours. For you guys that weren't able to watch the show, I hope I gave you a good enough recap so you can kind of make a vivid picture in your head. That's what I was really aiming at doing tonight, because I know there's so many fans out there that are affected by the DirecTV situation and cannot watch their favorite wrestling show. Thank you for checking out this video. Thank you for being loyal fans and subscribers of the Effin' Brand of Wrestling and Entertainment here on YouTube.com. I could not do it without you. Have a great night. Stay safe, and I'll catch you tomorrow.